Okay, so we did with the different classification of contract according to which there were three types, according to three criterions we could divide the contracts as based on enforceability, based on formation, and based on their performance. Based on enforceability, we had void agreement, voidable contract, void contract, unlawful agreement, illegal agreement, unenforceable contract, and a valid contract. We will do each one of them once again. Now, what is a valid contract? Contract is agreement plus it should be enforceable by law. So, and apart from that, it must also qualify all the essential elements of a contract. Where there should be a contract, there should be a consideration, there should be a free consent, it should be lawful, the object should also be lawful, there should be an offer and an acceptance, and all the terms should be fulfilled. So we say it's a valid contract once it is an agreement which is enforceable by law. Agreement is offer plus acceptance. So there should be an offer, there should be an acceptance, and it should be enforceable by law. And secondly, it must qualify all the essential elements of a contract. Only then it becomes a valid contract. Then we did with what is a void agreement. An agreement which is not enforceable by law is said to be a void agreement. From the beginning itself, it is not enforceable by law. An example for this is anyone who enters into an agreement with a person whose age is below 18 years, who is of unsound mind, and an agreement without a consideration. It is understood that it is unlawful and it is it becomes a void agreement from the initial stages itself. I know all these are existing. In spite of it, if I enter into a contract with them, then it becomes a void agreement. Thirdly, we did with avoidable contract. Now, as we see the example, anything which is obtained through threat, coercion, anything which is obtained through threat, coercion, or on any force that we implement on that basis. Like here in this case, X threatens to kill Y if he does not sell his house to X for rupees 1 lakh. In that case, Y agrees to sell the house since Y's consent has not been obtained by coercion. The contract is voidable at the option of Y. If he enters, he cannot say that it is enforceable or someone is threatening it. But if he signs, then it becomes a valid contract. But then later, if he claims that he was threatened and after which only he signed the agreement, then it becomes a he has to prove it that he was threatened. Then it becomes a voidable contract. So void agreement is from the initial stages itself of entering into the agreement, it becomes void. And voidable contract is it is through a threat, coercion, etc. that an offer that you enter into an agreement that becomes a voidable contract. Void contract is a contract when I initially entered to a contract where I asked, like in the case of an export, like import here we say, in the case of an import contract, the agreements, while I sign the agreement, it is enforceable. But at the time of delivery or subsequently, there is some mishappening which happens because of which I am not able to complete the agreement. Then it becomes a void contract. So void is from initial stage itself, it is a void agreement. Voidable contract is due to coercion or due to threat, it becomes a voidable contract. And void contract is it is a legal one contract, but it becomes unenforceable due to some unavoidable circumstances. Then this is an example, one more example for a void contract. A agrees to sell his horse to B for rupees 50,000. The horse died in an accident. So it's impossible to perform the contract at all. So subsequently, it becomes a void contract. Then we deal with what is unlawful. Just as per the terms or as per the In the eyes of law, it is not lawful. Such agreements are void from the very beginning itself. Like an agreement in restraint of marriage, an agreement in restraint of trade or business. There are certain laws which are made by the court. So we should not go against that. If we go, it is implied that it is illegal, it is unlawful. So it becomes a void contract. What is express contract? Implied is it's understood that I don't have to go in through an agreement once again for that contract. For example, if I travel in a bus, I step up the bus. It's understood that I'm going to travel it. I need to purchase a ticket for a consideration, for which he's going to drop me to some other place. That is applied, implied contract. Now, what is express contract? It has to be expressed either in written or oral, telling that these are the terms and conditions of the contract. So a contract is called an express contract if the terms of the contract are expressly agreed upon either orally or written at the time of formation of the contract. Anyone rarely remembers what is a quasi contract. A quasi contract is not contract and when I enter into at the initial stages, but later it becomes a party to the contract. For example, through Swiggy, if I order something, A orders something to be delivered to B. Now, instead of delivering it to B, A delivers it to C. Not place the order. Since he has consumed the product,
Ma'am, your
it
voice
is an
is
implied
breaking, ma'am.
contract. Is it audible?
Yeah, ma'am, now it's fine.
Is it
It's
audible?
audible now.
Okay, now. Okay. See, this is a quasi contract which is created by law. It is an obligation which law creates in absence of an agreement. Initially, there is no agreement between the two parties, but later stage it becomes certain goods meant for A have been delivered by a trader to B. So B consumes the goods. He is under a quasi contractual obligation to pay to the trader. Very, very, very important. What is a quasi contract? And then we moved according to based on performance, executory, which will be unilateral and bilateral, and executed contract. Can any one of you tell me what is executory contract? The very word itself you can explain it. Executory. Look into the hint. It is classification based on performance. So based on performance, executory, which means the contract is not yet complete, either from one part. Unilateral is from one part of it, either the offer or the acceptance of it is pending. So it's not complete, because of which it becomes an executory contract. And it is bilateral executory contract, one from both the ends. The offer is also pending, the acceptance is also pending. In such circumstances, it becomes a bilateral of executory contract. And what is an executed contract? On the contrary, when both the offer and the acceptance are complete, then it is known as an executory contract. Executed contract. Clear? So executory is either from one end it's pending or from both the ends, either the offer or the acceptance, or both the offer and the acceptance are pending. In that case, it becomes an executor. It's not yet complete. Executed contract is the contract is completed, both the offer and the acceptance are completed. This is what is an example that we did in the last class. Okay. Now with this we complete with the types of contract. Today we will start with what is offer and acceptance. No, we'll do only with what is offer today. Now, where did we come across this term offer?
Job offers,
Where have we come
discounts.
across this term offer? Sorry? Initially, we did with what is a contract, agreement, and a promise. I hope all of you remember.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is an offer? What is an offer? I'm asking you, what is an offer? Come on, students. Where did we come across this term offer? We said offer plus agreement is equal to what is that? Not even one of you.
Ma'am, while buying products, ma'am.
Very good. While purchasing or by buying products, we've come across this. Okay. Are you able to see the slide?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, I'm just
Yes,
able
ma'am.
to
Yes, ma'am.
see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's clear now. Okay. Now, we're going to do only with what is an offer today. See, this is what an offer is and this is what an acceptance is. It shows an intent to enter into a contract. First, there should be something to offer. Only then there should be something that we would accept. So, firstly, there should be an intent to enter into a contract, for which you will have to make a definite offer and you communicate the offer to the offeror. Clear? So first important point is there should be in a contract, there should be an intent to enter into a contract. There should be something that you offer and the communication has to go from the offerer to the offerer. For instance, I'll pay you $50 an hour to edit my book on Mesoamerican sewing techniques. What is an offeree for? Who is an offeree? that is, who accepts the offer. He shows intent to accept the offer. Communication intent to accept the proper means, and states that the acceptance that mirror, that is, it is replica of the terms of the offer. So he accepts the offer in short. I will take the editing job. That is what the offer was. Will he take the editing job, and the acceptance is I will take the editing job given the terms and conditions. So this is what is an offer. So an offer is also known as a proposal. According to section 2 subsection A, when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent of that to such act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal. So proposal is also known as an offer. I make in a proposal that this is I want to sell my bike for rupees 50,000. That is an offer that I give to anyone. Now this can be to specific person. This can be to someone in general. This can be through an ad also. So anyone. So the person to whom the offer, the person who makes the offer is known as offerer, and the person to whom the offer is made is known as the offeree. What are we going to do under offer is what are the different types of offer, legal rules relating to the offer, what are acceptance, legal rule relating to acceptance, communication of offer and acceptance, and revocation. When is it that I can revoke the offer and acceptance? I hope all of you are clear with what an offer is. It is an intent. First, there should be an intent to enter into a contract. Then there should be an offer, and finally, it should be communicated. Now we'll do with the different types of contract. We have always almost done with different types of contract. Almost more or less the same. We have it with the different types of offer. Now I want each one of you, since it's easy enough, just tell me what is an express offer. Any one of you? Okay, let me do it. An offer made by express words, that is, either it is in a written or an oral, that we put up an offer to another person, that is known as an express offer. For example, X wants to sell his bicycle to Y for rupees 500. This is an express offer. Is that clear? It is either orally or in written. I tell or communicate what is my offer to the offer. Implied offer, it's the same like how we have done in the implied contract. It is by the conduct of the circumstance of the parties or the circumstances that it becomes a implied contract. Now, when you enter, go and buy a cinema ticket for a cinema theater. It's understood that you have got the ticket to purchase. You purchase the ticket to watch a cinema. There's no contract or agreement where we'll have to give you an offer and you accept it, etc. So it is implied that there is an offer and it is accepted by the offeree, the one who purchases the ticket. Is that clear? Express offer and implied offer. Now, specific offer is like I give it only to a specific persons. Like X sells his bike to Y, or Z sells his bike, or school management sells his book to only 12th standard students. So it is to specific group of person or to an individual that an offer is made. That is known as a specific offer. General offer, on the contrary, is like we have a discount sale, which is a general offer, pantaloons discount for 50%. So this offer is to the general public, not to anyone in specific. Hope all the first four are clear to you. What is an express offer, implied offer, implied, specific, and general. We have another three offers, which is a cross offer, counter offer, and standing offer. Now, a cross offer is one wherein both the offerer and the offeree simultaneously place a given offer which are of the same matter, and the subject remains the same, but their intentions are different. For example, A wants to sell his bike to B. Okay, so A makes an offer to B telling that I want to sell my bike to you for rupees 10,000. Now B wants to purchase the bike of A. So B makes an offer to A telling that at a cost of rupees 10,000 I want to purchase your bike. Both of them are not aware of this offer. Both of them are making. That's why it's known as an cross offer. Are you clear with the students? Where both the offer and the offeree are of the same subject matter, they give an offer. For instance, the bike which I told you, A wants to sell his bike to B for rupees 10,000. So, and B also wants to purchase A's bike for 10,000. So this becomes a cross offer where they don't even know that the offer is made. Is that clear? Cross offer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, we will move to what is a counter offer. Counter offer is where I make an offer, but the offering or the acceptor wants something different of the offer which is made. For instance, I give an offer to purchase a book within 2 days, or I give an offer wherein this offer to I open an offer that a flat is available for sale for next 2 weeks. Okay. This is visible. Is the screen visible, students? Offer till then. X offers to sell his, like the flat, as I told you, I open an offer to sell the flat for 15 days. So this offer is at a particular rate, say 15,000. 15,000 is available. I'll repeat what a counter offer is. Is the screen visible?
No, broader estimate that anymore.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I hope all of you are clear with what is a counter offer, cross offer, and counter offer. Are you able to differentiate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Lastly, we will do with what is a standing offer. Now, a standing offer is one wherein it is a continuous offer. Now, this is usually practiced in a business establishment. Like I purchase goods from a vendor on a continuous basis, but the quantity and the price might vary. That is known as a standing offer. So, X sells rice to B, the supply, or to a, which is who runs a hotel. So the supply would differ, like the only the quantity and the amount would differ as per the market conditions. Other things would remain the same, but there is a continuous or a continuous offer as such. Are you able to differentiate now between what is a cross offer, counter offer, and a standing offer? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Tomorrow, if I ask questions and you will all blink. Okay, just go through all these different kinds of offers. It's almost the same like how we have the different types of contracts. Okay, Praveen, you can take the attendance.